Hi friends, thank you for joining me today. What I'm going to do is, I might do more than one video, but I'm going to put several together, probably. I don't know, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try and dispel the horror of the A9 card. And those of you who play along with Craft Roulette know what I'm talking about. A9 card, for those of you who may not know, the size is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper folded in half. That's a big honking card. And everyone who plays along with Craft Roulette, people that are members get to veto for perimeters every week, and this always gets vetoed off if it comes up. And I think people are just afraid of the real estate. And really, people, I've really put some thought into this because I've always voted it down too, is we all have the ability to make an A9 card. Everybody. And you don't have to have all the things, but I will do some using some of the things, and then some with just using basic supplies that we would all have. Today I think might be a mixture of both of those. You see this little cluster of loveliness over here. This is going on here. And first of all, I had this die that I received from Mary. I won a Krog from her, and this was in there. And I'm like, wow, that's a pretty big die. And well, guess what? It fits perfectly on an A9 card. So there you go. So first of all, see how it punched out all these little hearts. Well, I couldn't let those go to waste. Now, I'm usually not one that likes tedious work. I don't. But I could not let these little hearts go to waste. So first of all, what I'm going to do, and probably what I could do is do some, I know there's more that I could do to this card, but I want to give you a basic idea of how you can put an A9 card together, and then you can go to town doing all the stuff. Like you could ink around the edges of this, or do ink blending in the background. There's just a ton of stuff you can do. So I'm just gonna make a bunch of, I need to make these little tiny. There's a whole bunch of them. So I might have gotten carried away there. And I'm just going to put these on random. Did I get it on there? I did. I just had too much glue on there. It'll dry clear. Okay, so now what I want to do is glue this circle down. And if you don't have this, you could glue down you could use just a regular circle, either a solid, and then put something, either another circle or an oval like I'm going to put in the center. Make sure this all has glue. It's a long long way to go around this thing. This is such a pretty. So get this down. I gotta get glue off my fingers. I'm not gonna be able to do anything with it. Okay. Get this down somewhat in the center. Okay. So you can already see this coming together. Lots of possibilities. I had lots of ideas, but I decided to keep it fairly simple. And I just put glue on one of my yeah, words are hard. One of my stamp blocks here. It's just easier than me trying to put glue on the back of it. Okay, so there's that. Now, what I decided to do was cut out an oval. I know a lot of you have these oval dies. I waited a long time before I ended up breaking down and getting a set of oval dies, but I got a set from Pink and Maine. Great company. And so I'm just going to set that right in the middle. You see how I'm just putting my glue upside down in this container? If you have not seen, I did this in one of my very earliest videos, and I've mentioned it a couple times. If you put a paper towel, or you could use wet ones in the bottom, put a paper towel, scrunch it up in the bottom, and I use this little spray bottle that we got from Paper Ganza, and wet it down really well, and then prime your glue. Take the pin out and just stick it upside down. It will not clog up on you the entire time you are crafting. But if you go and forget about it and leave it overnight, like I have done several times, it will dry up and it'll stick to your paper towel. So there's that too. You got to remember to put the pin in it when you're done. But okay, so there's the oval. So, I mean, we have managed to pretty much fill up the entire front of this A9 card. So this beautiful butterfly I received from T in Not Afraid of Color, that she sent me some happy mail. I think it was for thank you because I sent her something. I don't know. I don't remember, but it's beautiful. And I've been wanting to use it, and I think this is a perfect opportunity. So what I'm going to do here is glue this so that just the tips are down in the middle. And then I have, this is one of my butterfly dies, and I'm going to put it right in the middle and let it stand up. So put glue down the middle on the tips. I haven't really done this before, but I thought it would look kind of pretty. Gives it a little dimension because you're not gluing it down totally flat. Give it a second to dry. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue down the center body of this. I thought this worked out really well because this doesn't have antenna coming up from it, and this one does, so I thought that looked pretty cute on there. And then the wings kind of stick up like that. How cute is that? So when I'm done, I will use my stickles on there, and then I will have to set it way away from me because whenever I put stickles on anything, yeah, Okay, now I just got these at Paper Studio. I'm trying to decide if I want to use those or the white. And I think I'm going to use this one. Paper Studio stuff was not on sale when I was at Hobby Lobby the other day, which I was disappointed because almost every time I go in there, the Paper Studio items are on sale, like 40% off or 50% off. But they weren't this time. That's okay. So what I'm going to do here on the sides is one in the middle there, there. And put the smaller ones come on the ends. Yeah, it might be just easier to pick it up, I think. There. And put a little bit bigger one in the center. Okay, I'm picking it up. There you go. Oh, how pretty is that? I love these. And these are iridescent, so it brings out blues and pinks and, yeah, purple. These really don't have sticky on them when you take them off of the plastic thing, so. So you have to glue them down. How gorgeous is that? I love those. That really sets it off. And so now what I'm going to use is my stickles to, I got to get this coming out. Well, there we go. So I think what I'm going to do is run this right down the body part here. And that won't come out. There we go. And maybe just cover this area right here. Sometimes it comes out really good and other times it doesn't cooperate all that much. And then we'll put some over here. A little bit down here. Okay, so I think that just helps set that off a little bit. How pretty is that? I don't know if you can, if that shows up in the camera at all. But there is my first A9 card. You guys, that really wasn't that hard. So I hope this helps to demystify the A9. It is for me. I just have to do some so that if that ever comes up in the perimeters and Craft Roulette, voila, you can do it. Okay, so I forgot part of my card. Now I went back in and I cut out just a portion of this so I could have some more of these little hearts, and went ahead and filled in more because I got carried away up here and then I didn't have very many down here, so I just filled in some more hearts so it looks fuller. Okay, and I did, while I was doing all that, I stuck my finger in the stickles, but it's okay. But I forgot to put this. So I made this sentiment, and what I did was I took a strip of white paper and inked it with, I used Faded Jeans, Fossilized Amber, and Peacock Feathers. Okay? And so I just did a little ink blending on the paper first, and then I used the Happy Birthday stamp from Bill and Tracy. Mine was Crafting. This one's called Happy Occasions. And it's got Happy Birthday, and then you can do Happy Anniversary, Happy New Year. It's got all the numbers, and it's got like Happy 3rd or 2nd or 5th. And then a dash, and it's got a slash and a cupcake and a regular cake. So it's a really cute, very useful little stamp set. I think they might have it still. I'm not positive. But then I stamped on top of that the Happy Birthday and put a very small white mat behind. So what I want to do is put that on dimensionals. And also, I think a lot of people think, and which I was too, thinking of the A9 envelopes. What do I put this in? Well, that's a good question. You either have to make an A9 envelope, which wouldn't be hard, just use a 12 by 12 piece of paper. You can buy them, and I'm trying to think, I think I have an A9 size. This might not be, oh no, those are square. I had some really large envelopes at one time. And I don't think, well, I do. Yeah, but I don't know if this will work. Yep, it'll work. I don't even know where I got these large envelopes, but I got some a long time ago, and I've never really used them. So there you go. I've got an envelope for it. So, okay, let's get this sentiment down. And this will finish this card. And I think it turned out really cute. And like I said, you can do some ink blending on the background if you want before spritzing, whatever you want to do. I mean, you know, we're crafters, right? We're creative. So I'm going to put this, I think this one, I'm just going to put this in the middle. I was going to put it off to the side, but I think this one I'm going to put in the middle. So there you go. That finishes my card. So let me know what you think. All right, talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Please press the like button and leave me a comment. Talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, so I just wanted to illustrate. So this is my 12 by 12. And so what I did was fold it, and I should have scored it. But you can score one end at 1 7/8 and score the other side at 1 1/2. Okay? And then the other way, you would score it at one side you would do 3 inches, and the other I have it 3 1/8. This is 3 1/8, 3 inches. Okay. You can figure out the math. You're probably better at math than I am. But, so I figured the best way to do this is so when you fold it, and I just folded it in like this, and I'm looking at the creases, and I think the best way to do this is to make the opening on this end instead of trying to do it this way. So we'll make it kind of like, well, it's basically, it's a little smaller than a 6x9 envelope that you would buy, okay? So then what you want to do when you have it open is cut these out right up to the score line, and then you want to come in a little bit from the score line and make a little angle is what I'm trying to say. And here you would do the same, make a little angle, go into the score line, and then just cut just inside the score line. To that line, okay? So both these ends are gone, and you want to do the same down here. This way you want to come in straight from this side, and then from the end you want to make a little bit of an angle going down to the center like that, okay? A little bit of an angle here going down to the score line. You want to be inside of the score line on this side of it, because you don't want that bulk from the fold. Okay, so there's our basic envelope. So now what you want to do is fold over sides. It doesn't really matter which side. And I'm going to take the longer piece that I had scored longer than this side. So first of all, you want to glue this down, and back in there. I put glue down one edge on this side. It's starting to dry out because I let it sit in there for a while. We'll just get that wet again. Okay, so I want glue down the edge, this side, and then on the inside edge that you're going to fold over. Okay, to make sure that those get glued down well. And I think I was going to do it the other way, and this is a little uneven here, so I'm just going to even that up. Okay, and then the shorter piece I'm going to glue. And I keep losing my bone folder. Here it is. Give that a good burnish. This is just like a large coin envelope. or those 6x9 envelopes that you get. Okay, so there's our envelope. So it's got a nice angle when you close it. So what I do then on these, because there's no adhesive, I use, and I gotta move stuff out of the way to open my drawers. Anybody relate? I use a piece of double-sided tape. And I'm just going to put that across the end. And then just leave this side of the adhesive on until I get ready to send it. Oh, look at that. Just made it. So I'll leave that on till I get ready to send it. And this is probably not the envelope I'm going to use for this one. I could, because, well, I might, because it's got yellow in it. So we'll test it out. Make sure it works. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, and you're ready to send it. And you can just put your label on this way like you normally would. I don't know how much these cost to send in the post office, so you would have to check. And I might take this in. I'm going to the post office today. I will take this with me, find out exactly how much this would cost to send in this envelope. And I will let you know. All right. I'm signing off. See you next time. Bye.